Hello there, this is Geeks Assembled, and today I am joined by Alex and Susan, uh, discussing the new movie in an ongoing franchise what started 40 years ago. Um, yeah, we're talking the new installment of Ghostbusters, and this is called Frozen Empire, and it's a bit of a chilly story, this one.
Uh-huh.
Some old cast return, and we get the cast from the last movie, the younger generation, the new generation of Ghostbusters returning as well. So we're going to go over to these two over there for their opening thoughts on the Frozen Empire.
Well, I really like Ghostbusters, and this is a really good Ghostbusters movie. I think that the first few minutes you get your first ghost, so that's fun. That's just the way it should start out. And yeah, I'm just gonna pass it on to Alex to give his opening thoughts, and then we'll
Yeah.
we'll start discussing.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this one. Afterlife was good too, but it was slower and it was
Yeah.
um I know people complain that it took too long to set up the Spangler um family outside of the original guy who died. Um Unfortunately, we had the one with the women, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, I guess it's called, and I didn't really like that. I understand that they're not against women being in any franchise, but I just felt like they weren't doing the right thing and the jokes weren't really funny. And it was also too internet based, where I think that Ghostbusters, since the original one with Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker and the ape, was the original Ghostbusters in name.
Oh,
Not,
wow.
not the same franchise, but the same name. And then when Ramis and Aykroyd and all the other comedic actors from Saturday Night Live or SCTV or whichever one it was, they had to work out a deal with Filmation, I guess, who also did Fat Albert at the end and He-Man and all those other ones.
You mean for Harold Ramis?
Well, no, they had to work out a deal because they were both named Ghostbusters. So you actually have the 70s cartoon, then you have the 80s movie, then you have, so I liked Ghostbusters too, but a lot of reviewers didn't like that when that came out with Bobby Brown and the Bobby Brown song and what's his name? I forgot his name. The guy from Ally McBeal, the very nerdy guy. And he was also in Sophie's Choice as well, which is ironic. Uh,
Nickel.
yeah, yep. And so that was the second one. They were in production hell for a while for the third one, and then they couldn't agree on what plot they liked for the third movie. Then that became Ghostbusters Answer the Call, and it really wasn't, to me. It wasn't based on whether it was sexist or not. If you made it all female, it just that it wasn't. I There's only like two characters out of that whole female group that I found funny. And I didn't understand why a black woman from New York would not act like she lives in New York. And why, what's her name? What is it, McCarthy? The very large woman, the round woman. She always plays the exact same character. And it's like a female Pee Wee Herman. She says the same catchphrase like 30 times in the same movie, no matter what character she's playing. She even did it in the superhero movie, the one on Netflix. And it's like, you don't need to say Urkel 30 times. You're doing it Urkel. We can see that. So it's not that she's not a good actress or that she's not talented, but I wish somebody would tap her on the shoulder and say, could we try to vary the character a little bit? Yeah, I know.
No, it's in that case it was writing, obviously,
Yeah,
because
well, or
because-
directing.
but the writing, because if you're reading a script
Right.
and that's what it says to say,
Right.
you're gonna say it, right?
Right. Well, yeah, unless the editors come in. But unfortunately, while I appreciate that they wanted to do something,
Mhm.
and while I appreciate that they wanted to have, what's his name, the other famous, the pretty guy be the silly one, or the very silly, dim-witted
Are
one.
you talking about Helmsworth?
Yeah. I just didn't feel like that carried a movie. I
Okay,
felt like
okay,
that was
okay.
a skit on top of a skit on top of a skit, and
Okay, okay.
that's a problem. Now, when you get to the movies that we're talking about, yeah, there's faults in that too, but at least it feels more, family oriented. You have a group. So it has to be a little bit slower because you have so many characters. So that some people view that as a negative thing. If you have over 10 characters, you have to write for. But here, except for two characters, except for Podcast and the African girl with the braids, with the cornrows.
Lucky?
Yeah, I felt like the characters did apply, and made sense for this movie. I know some people complain, well, you had the original Ghostbusters and Afterlife, toward the end. But because it's the Ghostbusters, and because we know that if it keeps going, if they keep making money off of this, the original people unfortunately are probably going to pass away.
But wasn't
Yeah.
they, what, in Afterlife, they didn't play their original characters? This
No,
is
they
a-
did. They did.
Oh, all right.
But they came at the end though. They weren't part of the movie. They came at the end in the field or whatever, the field that they were in,
Okay,
cornfield or whatever it was. But
okay.
but anyway, yeah. So I like this one better than Afterlife. I like both I like the original two movies, and I like these last two reboots or soft reboots, or I don't know what they officially call it. I don't know if they call
They're
it
just sequels.
a reboot or a sequel or whatever. Yeah, I
They're
mean,
sequels.
yeah, that's true. They are because they have the
This is,
so
I mean, this is really Ghostbusters 4.
yeah,
Yeah,
or Ghostbusters 5, maybe. I don't know. 3 and a
Well,
half.
I don't class this.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Lee, you know how it is now. I mean,
but
I'm,
it
I'm,
did, it did, I mean, it even had the same mayor or the same power structure for the city of New York.
right. Well, that's another thing that's interesting because
That they use the city of New York as a,
well, it's New York. They're in New York.
but it's as the city of New York plays a character.
Yeah, they're in New York. So
Because the city gets all the damage done by the cold ghost.
Right.
I mean, like the city suffers, and so like you're like, well, why does that even matter? And then the mayor's like, because he had planned to sort of assert himself and steal, sort of alleviate some revenue by removing some of their architecture, mainly where the Ghostbusters need.
Wow, I don't,
Anyway,
I
like
don't,
that whole
I don't
thing.
remember that. But go ahead.
Well, it was good to see Walter Peck back as the see we last time we saw him was in the original one.
Yeah.
Where he shut him down and caused all the trouble.
Exactly. And this time they kind of
Now he's the mayor, and he still wants to shut him down.
Yeah.
Well, that was funny too at the end of the movie where the crowd kind of forced him to treat them nicely.
Again, the city had suffered, but he had his own plan, and he didn't know how to treat the city, so the city taught him how to treat the city.
Yes and no. But
Am I right? No, you.
Well, no, but the first one too, they had the two big insults, and I was wondering if Murray was going to do that for this one. And then I said, "Oh, if teenagers are watching it, you can't do those jokes." Because that's the thing. The original two movies were technically very adult. It was supposed to be adult humor, not kids' humor. Ironically enough, though, even though they had the one in the 70s, did they have 3 versions of Ghostbusters the cartoon? I know they had 2 versions. They had the original version, and then they had the extreme version, which was another generation of Ghostbusters, and one was in a wheelchair as well. I think it was
There
called Ghostbusters Extreme or something.
there was the 70s version, which we know about
Right, live action, yeah.
with the gorilla. Then there was the real Ghostbusters
Right,
from 87 to 91,
right.
and then Extreme Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the one, right, the one on the wheel. Yeah, they had one guy that was on a wheelchair. Yeah. So that was more, that had steampunk episodes and cyberpunk episodes and all that. So I mean, people don't realize too. There's more than one version of even the Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, and that's the other thing too of how far can they stretch the copyright and that's why you see at the beginning of the movie the ghost core with the Ghostbuster graphic because they're their own studio as well. The Ghost Core kids. I don't know if we can show it.
Well, it's a studio label,
Right,
but
because
it's not it's not on here. Don't worry. Just
hang on,
okay.
but no. it's
The response to speaking of the cast, like the Walter Peck being back, I also like the fact that Kumali Nagiani was in it, and he was just in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show as
Yeah.
the helpful Jedi with bunny rabbit ears, or the inverse commas if you would. He was super helpful and he was actually helping the folks along the way. Using sort of a lot of psychosomatic or placebo effect things, and that was really good what he did. The other thing is that he actually turned around and became really cognizant of how important it was that Obi-Wan took care of that. But in this one, he actually was empowered. I mean, this is a guy with supernatural powers. He was able to bend fire. It was funny watching. They didn't have like a montage of training. There's just like a little cut here, a little cut there to watch him kind of trying to bend the fire and start the fire and stuff like that, and do the magic thing.
But if you realize he was the one who caused all the trouble to begin with. If he wasn't selling his was it his grandmother artifacts, he would never have got free.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Well, no, you had that female ghost that was sympathizing with Phoebe.
Yeah, but he was in the ball. If he hadn't have sold the ball, it would never have been opened.
Right.
It'd have been still locked up.
Right, but the what's her name? The one that Phoebe was playing chess with. That ghost.
That was
and so she kind of knew that Phoebe was going to be, taken over for a bit. But like I said, she ended up saving everybody because she had the flame that still worked even after the demon froze everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said about Afterlife being a bit slow, but that was setting up the new characters.
Right.
And this one leads straight on to having the Spenglers and the old team sort of working alongside each other, in daily life as well. And it is the old Ghostbusters are spread out in the movie. Bill Murray's not that in it much. Dan Aykroyd's a constant because he writes it, I think, and he's a producer. Then you've got Ernie Hudson, which is he's a stalwart on the Ghostbusters front.
Yeah.
And I just like the way that the old and the new generation mingle
Yep.
in daily life
Yeah.
and in work.
Well, yeah,
So,
right, because that's the other issue that they have with Spider-Man and such.
mm,
That, I'm sure that the studio would love to rewrite the character and have him everywhere, but technically and mostly most people know Spider-Man as a teenager. So he's gonna end up being stuck between, 14 and 25, because if he gets older, then you have to change the whole universe. Even though in the comic books, he's not 25 anymore. But,
no.
but
But
you have to
the
change.
three iconic things in this movie, what is always wonderful to see is Eco One,
Yeah,
the firehouse.
yeah.
People go there now, just stand outside because it is a firehouse. So they stand outside just taking photos in New York,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and also the third thing, which is quite good to see in the movies, is Slimer.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they brought him back.
Under all that those candy wrappers or
Yeah.
junk food wrappers, that was awesome.
Well, yeah. And then
Yeah,
It kind of was like what was it like? It was like Pizza the Hut in a melt, you know?
yeah,
because he wasn't answer the call, but then people were mad because he had a girlfriend and they didn't explain how there was a girl Slimer and all that.
Emily Ellen Lind was the ghost actress. In
Melody.
Yeah,
Melody was the name.
Melody.
Yeah, so to me, it was a fresh, nice story, and you also have to have the Stay-Puft.
Those ones. Oh my gosh!
I don't know why it was driving the truck, but it was driving the truck at the end. So,
I know that was so cute.
and I don't understand some of the. I don't know if that was inspired a little bit by the Minions. It seemed to be inspired.
Oh my gosh! Yes, yes.
Not that it should have been, but
yes. No, it's okay.
Also, as well, somewhat returned in this was the ghostly librarian.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, Dan Aykroyd's face.
Yeah.
When he saw her.
Yeah. Well, of course, yeah. There was that other ghost that everybody likes to forget. The one that gave him that special dream.
Mm.
They haven't brought back. they hinted at, but they've never brought her back.
It's a shame that Sigourney Weaver hasn't returned in the last.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she's busy with the alien stuff or not. I haven't looked up to see if she's in the new.
No, she hasn't done the alien thing since about 90.
Well, she was in 4. She was in 4. I know that. That was 97 or 99. And then
yeah, it would be nice if she'd have come back. Then it'd been the full family really back together. But anything what stand out for you then on this Frozen Empire?
I mean, like I said, I did like it. It was a little better than Afterlife, not by much though. But I like the fact that they blended in almost everything I liked.
And I liked the fact that what's his name? Patton Oswalt is in it. He's in everything right now, and he's just ascending his own career ladder, and he's really great. I mean, I love the fact that he himself has been in MST3K, and he's been in a lot of the sort of World War II movies. He was in he's just had a really good sort of run recently. And the other thing that I liked is that you have Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon, and like at first I didn't think there was any chemistry between them, but as you watched on, it looked like there was some sort of familiar history, not not a whole sexy kind of thing, but like just they're tied into each other, and it took it. That wasn't immediately. Go ahead.
And also as well, this was sort of the acceptance movie of Paul Rudd with the Spengler family,
Yeah,
because
Well,
they
no,
called him
yeah.
they called him Dad at the end.
yeah, and yeah, and the other, and because they weren't married.
No,
They were boyfriend, girlfriend, and he was still known as Gary Gruberson. And I mean, talk about a dumb a name that makes you feel kind of oh. How would you like to have the last name of Gruberson?
it's all right.
It's good.
And also we've got the British comedian in this, James Acaster, playing Dr. Pinfield,
Oh yeah, of course.
who's the one who is in charge of all the new
Recruit.
scientific.
Yeah,
All the
Yeah, they couldn't have Rick Moranis because he's too busy taking care of his family. He's
yeah.
basically retired from Hollywood, so
oh yeah, that's right.
Tully's gone for all practical. I would have liked to have seen him back. But,
And we can't forget Finn Wolfhard, who is the one of the center points of Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting quite a lot of horror and supernatural science fiction chops, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a busy boy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But as you said, Rick Moranis, and as I said, Sigourney Weaver, there's going to be another sequel, so fingers crossed they could talk them into doing it.
Yeah.
I know Moranis did come out of retirement a couple of years back to do several things, so you never know. Never say no.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was Ghostbusters, but
No, I know it wasn't, but he did come out of retirement, so they could persuade him.
Yeah.
If the script's good.
If the script is good, yeah. And that's
And
what
the
I liked about
and
this.
the
This had a really good script. I mean, it would have like funny moments and
Well, at least as say as these Ghostbusters movies have gone along, they haven't repeated themselves.
no, I know.
The threat hasn't been repeated, but it's not the same. This time it was what was his name? I forgot the name of the villain now. The big horny guy. What was
no, that's it.
Walter Peck.
No, the horned.
The big beastie, yeah.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that was totally different to what we had in the first one, Zool,
Yeah.
and the second one, which was the spirit from the painting.
Yeah.
So totally different stories, and that's keeping it fresh over 40 years. So
Yeah, it is. And let's see what was that guy's name? And I liked the conversation that they had on the bed. You know, if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you gonna call? And if there's something weird and it don't look good, well, who are you gonna call?
I mean, it also
Now he goes Ghostbusters.
Yeah, also as well, it made out that the song by Ray Parker Jr. was done by the Ghostbusters as well, with the video and all the toys.
Yeah.
They put all that.
Yeah, like
Well,
it was. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, because you could tell they weren't going to do the same trick they did in 1 or 2 with the ad campaign, and remember, because in part 2 when they catch the ghost again,
Yeah.
then you have Annie Potts going, "Yes, we're back," and it's a whole commercial and intercut.
Garaka.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of the beastie, Garaka.
And then we don't have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a good villain.
It really was. He was
Very,
incredibly eerie, very
very slender man type thing.
yeah, and like those horns, that was really amazing. Like, seeing where they ended up and then seeing him put them back on his head and just kind of attach those little spindlies attached. That was very cool.
And then he released the Death Chill.
And they walk into where those horns are, and and they're all like, "Ooh, a sex dungeon! Now that's pretty cool."
But yeah, but it's just nice to see the old team back, even if they're not the main heroes of the movie these days.
Right.
But they're involved. I mean, what's his name? Oh, Venkman.
Uh-huh.
That's Kilmer, isn't it? Venkman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still doing experiments.
Yeah.
Like when he
the thing on the head, just like
Fred,
just like Doc Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a verisimilitude between Venkman and Doc Brown, right?
Okay, now it says.
Am I right?
It
Yeah.
says for some reason that Dana Barrett was in Afterlife. So
Who?
she was in the last two movies. Before this one, before Frozen Empire.
You're talking about Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, she was in Afterlife.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is I can't tell exactly what scene she was in, but she's credited as being in it. So, and of course, she's only been in 100 movies, so I guess she wants to be more of a producer now. And of course, she's not. Let's see, when was she? Because she was already in her 20s and the 80s, so she may not want to do a lot of acting. She's in a TV show now, though.
Well, that's where the money.
She was in that Avatar.
Yeah, Lost Flowers of Alice Hart and Avatar. Well, yeah, because she's one of the main characters, so that's why she's in Avatar. So.
Yep.
But yeah, she was in Afterlife, and she was in.
I remember in Afterlife.
Was she in the?
She's credited as being in it.
Was she in the Ghostbusters?
Answer the Call, yeah.
Answer the Call. Okay.
But she was listed as a different character.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Well, like I said, she probably doesn't want to get to be known for that, and I don't see anything that lists Alien, except in the video games. In the video games, she's still active as voiceover.
Yeah.
But,
interesting.
Alien Isolation.
And that's
from 2014.
So that was the last thing that she did for.
Yeah, because now IMDb is listing voiceover acting as actual acting.
Yeah,
kind of.
It's actually listing. It's actually listing like the entire Big Finish group as called. They're called podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts.
Pretty funny. Anyway.
So, but I think, like I said, she probably wants to do more of a producer than as a actress.
Okay. All right. Well,
okay, yeah. So if she was born in 1949, then she is well into her 60s now. Right?
Yeah.
It'd be a 70s.
Yeah. So she probably doesn't want to do all the harness work and all that other stuff, unless she's going to do CGI.
Or stunt.
Wear the suit. Yeah, wear the suit like they did for the Hobbit and all that. Maybe she can't, that's another thing.
Well, she's definitely doing some of that for the Avatar.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, but that's the only other problem with Avatar. We don't know how much of that is computer generated or not, but she was one of the main characters, so.
She made the cameo in the credits scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in the two.
In the Afterlife.
In the two Ghostbusters. Okay.
So that's why mostly if you blink, you'll miss it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your little copy clicks off before the credits roll.
Well, yeah, that's the only other problem with the digital stuff is that it'll shrink down all the windows. You don't get to, it's not like the old days of the DVD or the VHS where you definitely got to see all the credits
Yeah, yeah, you do.
unequivocally.
You just click off when the credits start.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta thank you for getting the Frozen Empire, because
Yeah.
it was cool. It was a cool it's a cool movie, and it's
Pardon the expression.
pardon the expression, and it's really, there's some parts that I'm gonna rewatch because it's really
How cool is cool?
Anyway, chill, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Well, we haven't mentioned it, but the effects in this were marvelous.
yeah.
They're amazing. It's amazing what they can do these days, compared to what we reviewed the other week with the Mummy, which is so dated now.
Oh my gosh.
Well, are you talking about the '90s one, or are you
Yeah.
talking about the
Yeah, we-
sequels to the '90s?
The one with
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody forgets what is that, 30, 35 years ago now?
Yeah,
From 1990 to now is what, 30 years or more?
34 years.
So,
But say technology moves on and gets better and better.
It sure does. It picks up and takes off.
yeah, I mean, Lee, what if you could turn this into a streaming channel and you could be on Twitch and YouTube, live streaming?
I haven't got enough time in the day to do all that.
You know how much you'd have to set up and how many digital subscriptions and
Oh no.
how many products you'd have to blend
But
into
we don't need
another product.
we don't need that. We're just fun to watch.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because we don't always get along, but sometimes we do.
Yeah, we're not live streaming this.
Yeah, we don't go chasing the number.
True.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Go
so
ahead.
We do chase ghosts.
whoa. Anything else you want to say before we go final saying score?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I did enjoy this. I think it's good. I think they're going in the right direction. I don't know how many more movies they can do. And I don't know if Phoebe will end up being the girl with the glasses and sort of the kiss crow bangs, I guess. I don't know what you call it. I don't know how much they're going to be able to do because the younger cast, including that guy named Podcast, I don't know if they can.
She is Spengler.
Yeah.
She really embodies what her
Well, she may not be geeky enough, but
whatever.
but
She's fully geeky enough.
I don't know.
You can get geekier as you get older.
Well, yeah, I mean that's another thing too. They kept kind of saying, well, in 3 years you'll be 18 and all that. So, and I assume she's not actually 15. I mean, we know Hollywood has, even the original 90s people are a lot older than they actually looked.
Huh.
For Buffy and 90210 and all that. But we don't know if they have 3 more movies planned. But like I said, unfortunately, I didn't like Answer the Call, even though they had a lot more famous people in it. Even though they had more internet, they had more soundtrack, but it's also very loud. And that also was another thing that kind of annoyed me with that movie was I had a feeling they were trying too hard to say, well, we're in the 90s now, we're in the 2000s now, we're in, social media now. Whereas I think Ghostbusters is a little bit more of an old fashioned.
18.
Okay. More of a, right, but in the movie she wasn't, she was 15.
No, I know, but
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay, so she's closer to the age, which is good. So if they can come up with good characters or a good plot line and eventually phase the older original Ghostbusters out, but then bring it in without having to say, oh, the internet, social media, and everything's by the phone and all, which is that's a lot of other reason why I don't like watching modern stuff because it's too phone and internet based. And I think Ghostbusters is, it's not based on, oh, let's have the most current technology or everybody has this thing. Part of the Ghostbusters fun is that they have the packs on their backs. So it's a little bit of that lightsaber, kind of ambiance that they really don't know, even they don't know, how powerful it is and such.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the blending of the old fire car hearse type of thing with like that was cool where she did the thing with the door and then flipped out and then flip her seat to the side and still was using I even like that the drone trap where they use the drone trap. So they have to be careful. I think they have to be careful how they
the RC car and the
Right.
drone trap were both so cool.
yeah. So I think the problem is
Like if
with
you're
the-
gonna
yeah.
if you're gonna need to chase a ghost around the city, that's it. That is the best way to do it.
Yeah, although I do want to understand how they saw them without glasses, but that might be a minor point, it might not. But you know what I mean? I don't know. Lee, did you like answer the call? I mean, that was a lot more social media based and internet based. That movie.
I don't even acknowledge that movie.
Yeah, so but it did have a lot more YouTube and
Okay.
social media and all that, and I don't think that blends in.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know you don't think that was.
What do you think? Do you think Ghostbusters should stay
Well,
a little bit old fashioned or combine what
the
they can do?
I
don't
think-
have a point. I just forget about
Yeah,
it.
okay, so she doesn't like my idea. What do you think, Lee?
I think to keep it fresh and going, as I said, they're going to have to keep the writing up, top notch, and change it up a bit. And I don't know, maybe the next one they could go international.
Yeah, the Reitman's involvement happens to actually really retain the original magic. I think personally it doesn't matter who's in the cast as much as it does matter whether or not Ivan or Jason Reitman are involved, because in this one he was involved until he passed away. Ivan was.
That was the last one.
No, this one was the one that he was credited as. Look on your disc.
It was dedicated to him. But...
He died after he finished Afterlife.
I know, but they still credit him with production
Yeah,
on this.
but he's still dead.
He already started production on this.
I don't think they had.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's not. It wasn't just given to him honorarily. You have to have done something to get some.
If you're dead, you've got nothing to do with it.
If he's dead, he could still do it as a ghost.
Oh,
but really, no, you guys, really. Ivan Reitman was credited, and you don't get credits in Hollywood if you don't do something on the movie.
Okay, well, but
they don't give those motion picture credits just for being cool people.
Well, I mean, again,
they don't.
Because
it's part of the rules of the unions. I mean, for real.
Is there any
real?
Okay, I hear you, but what I'm saying is, did he relax? Did he is there because I can't find it on the tablet here. Is there any proof of him investing or putting up the money for the studio? Because remember, it's its own studio. Ghostbusters is its own studio.
He died in 2022.
Okay, so let me see. Ivan Reitman.
But that was wait.
Ivan Reitman.
February 2022.
Okay. Yeah, I knew he wasn't I knew he was no longer alive. But we have to type in to see if there's any research as to whether he produced anything or if he saved anything. Oh, it's a search. Just go to search. You put in Ivan Reitman. Okay.
It's a dedication, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I've just looked. It's a posthumous credit dedication.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But then what about the unions? I mean, it's you're supposed to have done something to get one of those things, right?
I don't know about that, but it's just that's what it says here. posthumous credit dedication.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like in memory of, isn't it?
All right, so he's Canadian.
Yeah, of course.
He helped produce Animal House, Beethoven series with the dog.
Okay. The thing that's really, oh God. Okay.
Wait a minute, let me see.
All right.
Okay,
Anyway,
wait a minute. In 1984, Reitman became the third director honored by Variety magazine in a special $1 billion director issue.
okay. So what? The important thing is that he must have done something about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, let me take a look at something else here. Yeah, 'cause
No, no, it's just that his son's involved in it,
right.
and they just credited him. That's all.
All right. I just don't think that the union would really like go, okay, that's all right. But you know, that's just me. I don't think so. I think that he must have had some of the initial
He can't have done.
of
He
the,
died in February 2022. This didn't start production until 2023.
oh,
So,
all right. Well, maybe it was just a talk over with his father.
well, or maybe he knew that, Ghostbusters is very special.
Yeah.
So he took it over because he can't do Animal House because that's owned by National Lampoon. I don't know about the Beethoven dog series. That's not what we're talking about.
We aren't.
So I don't know if he had any other, yeah, I can't
Just-
tell all the other things. But, yeah, he had the dedication, he had a writing credit. All
All right. I just,
so,
so maybe he and, Gil had talked over what the script was gonna look like. And maybe he and his son had talked over how his son was gonna get some money for this thing. I enjoyed the Spengler bit in this. I enjoyed the familial aspect, and I liked how Annie Potts was in it. And
Oh yeah, dear old me.
yeah, she has been a little typecast recently, being that she has been in Young Sheldon for what is it, 7 seasons now?
yep.
And
yeah, we don't know if she'll be in the sequel.
she will
further
be.
or whatever.
She will be, because she and like Sheldon's brother run that gambling casino in the back of the laundry.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just interesting. So let's see. Yeah, it's okay. We don't need to. You don't need to worry about this, except for the fact that I think that Ivan Reitman, or Jason Reitman's involvement really helps.
Mhm.
It helps with the script. It helps with the production. It helps with the vision of the directors. It helps with the actors. All of these things line up when they are involved. It helps because they know this, and it's kind of their idea to begin with. So, am I right?
Yeah.
All right. Am I right? Do you admit I'm right?
Yes, but
we
as
go.
we know too, it was also, Ghostbusters is broken off into many, different things. Like we said, they had to pay off the
I'm
70s.
talking about the
people.
good stuff. I'm talking about the magic. The magic of this, it happens when the Reitmans are involved,
Right. Well, yeah, that's another thing.
because it's real to them. It's fun. It's something that they've written quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm
It's
not.
something that
yeah.
they both produced quite well. Like when
Okay. All right. You. Anyway, she's fanning out. But anyway.
I have peaky
So well,
moments.
let me ask you a question, Lee. If Ghostbusters had been only the one live action franchise with Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker, originally from F Troop, and if it had only been the animated series,
Mhm.
Think that people would have liked it so much, or do you think that it would have been more,
They didn't
more of
like
a
it
cult,
enough.
more of a cult
They
thing?
didn't like it enough to continue it, and they don't hype it at all.
Well, it's very hard to do.
So,
It's, well, how many,
Really, I don't think that the lyrics stretch
Well, what you've got-
or
hang on, I asked him too.
what you've got to be thankful for is that they did decide in the end that they could use the name Ghostbusters.
Right,
They allowed them to use the name Ghostbusters because there was going to be called Ghostbreakers
right.
oh, okay.
because it was all up in the air because of this live action TV show and the cartoon.
Right.
Back in the day, but I think it was the last minute thing. They changed it, yet they agreed to it. We'll call it Ghostbusters now. Then
Yeah, because all the documentaries that I've seen, if they had to change it to Ghost Breakers, then the only benefit that would have been is to Ray Parker Jr., who got sued by Huey Lewis and the News Band for sounding very similar to that song "I Want a New Drug,"
uh-huh.
and also wouldn't have caught on, because that's the thing, is that it was. I remember when the movie came out, a lot of people did assume, like the Blues Brothers, that it was still connected to, and Dan Aykroyd is in that franchise as well, the Blues Brothers, that it was connected to, Saturday Night Live, where Bill
But-
Murray and,
But
you know,
Ghostbusters wasn't part of Saturday Night Live. That was Lauren Michaels. This is
the
Ivan
same,
Reitman.
the same actors.
Same actors, but
Yeah.
the producer. Again, it's the producer. Okay, I'm just gonna lay it out there one more
Anyway,
time.
I'm saying that it's connected,
Oh my
sweetie,
God,
is what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
killing
connected.
them. I'm just
Oh,
killing them.
No, but you know what I'm saying. And that's the other thing too. Like, she's right, because Lauren Michaels made a deal with the Blues Brothers, and he made a deal with Coneheads and other movies, that Wayne's
But-
World
but
and
those
other
are-
things that came out.
Yeah, because those are his products.
Right.
The Reitman family had some of their own. They
Right.
were very, very.
We just read it. We
Yeah,
just
okay.
read it.
Right.
Beethoven. We're not even
Got it.
talking about that.
Got it.
Oh,
Anyway, so what do you now wait a minute though, Lee, right? Isn't that similar in a way to England? That Monty Python has its own offshoots and it's had its own sequel, even
well,
though
everything,
it's a universe in a way, but it's had its own
everything,
offshoots.
everything has an offshoot of something.
Right,
You know, Faulty Towers is an offshoot of Monty Python
right,
because of the actors, the writers.
right.
You know, everything's an offshoot of something.
Ripping yarns.
Ripping Yarns, yeah. Michael Palin is an offshoot of. It's like a family. It's like a family tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's connected. And
There's always connections
and then you had the Ruddles as well, which was an offshoot of
That's
Making Fun
it,
of the
title,
Beatles.
yeah.
That also helped produce Life of Brian.
Yeah.
All that, yeah. So
There you go. Look, has Susan calmed down now?
I know.
I have geeky moments, okay? All right.
Anyway.
You're gonna be.
I'm just gonna hide behind this ghost.
No,
Anyways.
that doesn't do you any good.
So what we're going to be scoring it then?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a little better than Afterlife. I'll probably give it a 8. Where Afterlife I'd give 7. I do like the original one, but that was also a long time ago.
Yeah.
I still like parts of Ghostbusters too. I didn't like the whole thing. I do love the commercial, the commercial when they came back, when they were big again. I didn't like Answer the Call, sorry to say. It's not to be sexist. I didn't find that movie half as amusing or diverting. I appreciate that they tried to modernize it, but I think they modernized it too much. I think Ghostbusters, you have to keep. I think people will find out in history that Ghostbusters is the ultimate steampunk. And the way that it is based in the Northeast, because it's in New York, that you have to keep, I think you have to keep the New York flavor as well for Ghostbusters, or it's not really Ghostbusters.
It isn't steampunk, but it is definitely,
Wow.
it's definitely a bit more rustic New York than
Right.
it is.
Right, because Ghostbusters wouldn't be the same if they didn't have the combination of that wonderful vehicle, but with the traps and the ray guns.
And the city
Right.
itself
Right.
always being surrounded by all these ghosties.
Right, and it does play a character. It wouldn't be the same if it was based in California.
Right. So I will give it.
And-
I will give it 10 Slimers in the library, or with all the rubbish on top of him, looking like Pizza the Hut in Mel Brooks.
In Spaceballs, it is actually going to have a sequel
Yes.
now.
So that.
But there's another.
I enjoyed it. I love everything Ghostbusters, apart from that mishap of the movie. I'm going to give it 10 proton packs out of 10.
So Lee, would you keep on watching it if they definitely continue with Phoebe into her 20s? Would you still?
Yeah. It's. I think, as I said, they need to keep it fresh and shake it up a bit every now and again. This is what I mean when I said, as you say, the Ghostbusters is New York. Maybe they have to come away from New York at some point and go international, go to another country. The same characters,
Mhm.
but on another ghost hunt.
Yeah.
I mean,
just to keep.
They need to bring. They need to create a mobile catcher.
Yeah, just to keep the storylines fresh, because if it's just constantly New York all the time.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to be. Well, no, Afterlife wasn't all in New York, so that was a bit more Midwest. So they already did it. But the thing is, they did that with Men in Black International as well. But that was horrible writing. The writing was terrible for Men in Black International.
Well, it's all to do with the writing.
Yeah.
If the writing's good, it'll be a success. That's all,
Yeah.
So we've all calmed down now. We've all chilled.
Frozen, you could say, Lee.
Wouldn't Alan like to have been part of this one and talk all about Disney's Frozen? I mean,
Who?
that one who used to mention Frozen all the time.
But it's Frozen Empire, not Frozen.
I don't know what you're on about.
Well, the interesting thing was the fact that this beastie had the same sort of powers as Elsa. He really was he was very Elsa.
Well, you're just dredging the past up, aren't you?
I know.
I'm sorry. It's all those, all those icicles that I keep eating.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many ways you can write something too.
Yeah, that's it. You see, if you've got to change things up. I mean, I understand the all-female version that they tried something different, but it didn't work. It was the writing was just not there.
Yeah. Well, no, it was also there wasn't the same. Even I could tell it wasn't filmed in New York. It didn't seem to have the New York attitude. And then it tried with a black woman, and she's very funny, but it didn't seem the same. So it was nice that they made her related to Ernie Hudson's character, Zedmore, but it just didn't feel the same.
Yep.
And then the problem is they got too much into social media, and they got too much into, them being in that firehouse, all four of them. And then it didn't feel like there was an actual plot, and then the villains didn't make any sense.
That's true.
The super long fight in Times Square, which was a nice idea, but it felt like it went on for too long. And then it felt like they were doing like a Thriller, mocking of the Thriller video with them all dancing, and it's like, yeah, okay, I can see the ideas, but it's like it didn't mesh. It didn't mesh, and it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, we're just treading on
I know.
old ground on the that one now. Just throw it away, that one.
All right.
I know.
But that's our little review then.
Yes, Alex, it
Yeah.
was good to see you in this
Oh, hang on.
podcast.
Hang on.
Yeah, I like to see you now, Susan. The goat looked like the ghost had a talking armpit. Yeah, I'd like to thank Susan and Alex for joining us on this cast. It's always fun when we have arguments,
Wow.
especially when it's Susan. But yeah, that's a little review of the Frozen Empire Ghostbusters. If you guys out there have seen it, leave a message below. Let us know what you thought of it. And I'm hoping that everybody contradicts Susan's idea of thinking about the Reitmans.
No, I'm right about that. I'm 100% right about that.
You're right about right.
Also, as well, if you'd like to join us, please leave a message below on this video. I share it on all the social media platforms. So just put down, I'd like to be on part of the group. You just have to be 18 plus, because sometimes we get a little heated, don't we, Susan? And also sometimes the things we discuss are 18 rated as well. But yeah, all you need is a working camera and microphone on the device you use, and you'll be in. Also, as well, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, please press the bell notification button. She's not going to do it today, are you, Susan? No, you see, it still doesn't work.
Ding ding.
That's better.
Get quiet.
So that's it. So until next time, guys, it's been fun. And you guys out there, keep busting. And who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.